Sucked in, Manly.
Man, I'm just
Yeah, here we go, the Bulldogs fans.
I'm disappointed, and I'm an expert. I'm a fat dog. Look at me. I'm an expert. What I put in my mouth, bro.
It's like a 30-second clip, and you just feel so much smarter just
They
watching
like
it. It's
manipulate it
crazy.
like he's Diddy or some shit.
But
Like they're Diddy.
But like,
That Trindall would literally look like prime Andrew Johns, bro, mixed with Dunham Watani Zalesniaks, bro. Did you see that put down, bro? He looked like Watani without the mad haircuts. He points at you, bro.
Oh, not me.
Yeah, it's like you've just been chosen, like you've been drafted, conscripted to war, bro. You're in for a tough night.
Oh, Maron, what are you doing? Hey, like, comment, subscribe, share, do everything you got to do, man. It goes a long way, trust me. You like my shirt? Get straight into the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to League Lads, episode 30, bro. My name is Hectic Fred. We've got Winston Neville. We've got Flaxxy. Me and Winston are in basketball jerseys. Flaxxy, of course, in his full kit wanker, as per usual.
No, the full kit wanker, man. The reason why they're in basketball jerseys is because they're out, man. I'm the last one standing, so
we've moved on.
And also, we have a basketball podcast that we'll be releasing soon as well. We're recording it right after this, called Nothing But Net. Specifically, me and Winston, when we shoot, it hits nothing but net. Flaxxy also hits nothing but net, but it doesn't go in the rim. It just airballs and hits the bottom of the net. But it still counts.
A for effort, man.
It still counts, you know. But hey,
follow it's nothing but net on Instagram. There's an it's before it because nothing but net was taken.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
By an inactive account.
Yeah, by an inactive account.
You know what's funny? Like Hectic Fred with no underscore is taken by an inactive account.
Fred was saying to me, he was like, "Go Flaxxy." I checked; it was an inactive account since 2011. 0 followers, 0 following.
Like, dude, I'm annoyed, man. But nonetheless, we had a great weekend of rugby league. No Suey today, so it's my time to shine now, bro. I'm the host, cuz.
Look,
you're host with the most.
There were 2 games, and this might be the longest podcast we actually have this year. So, yeah, let's roll on.
No, I don't think it's gonna be the longest because wasn't that much drama. Hey, I think I saw a video about. I think it was about like Jed Cartwright. I'm not gonna talk about that one. There was. Like, I saw that on TikTok. That was a bit crazy. I've seen it multiple times now. People's missus going in on him on social media. Like, so that's a bit crazy, man. A bit crazy. I saw one that was apparently about Taylor's Duncan a few months ago, and now Jed Cartwright. Maybe it's just these Souths boys. I don't know. But nonetheless, we had one really, really good game, in my opinion, in the Sharks game. The Manly game was just disappointing. I think I expected a bit more from that. How did you guys see the games this week?
Yeah, Flax.
Look, as you said, first game, I felt like they were both disappointing. You had a really big blowout in the first half of the first game, and then, obviously Cowboys made a bit of a comeback. But the second game, we're in finals. Second week of finals. I thought there would be a bit more competition. Yeah, especially from Manly.
Yeah, but the thing is like, the first game was such a blowout. Was only a blowout because like we were seeing shit that was like not human, bro, from the Sharks.
Trindall, bro.
Bro, what was that? Trindall would literally look like prime Andrew Johns, bro, mixed with Dunham Watani Zalesniaks, bro. Did you see that put down, bro? He looked like Watani without the mad haircuts. Man, that was like, they do those MJ and Kobe comparisons where they look exactly the same. Bro, you just put like a wig, a flowing lock wig, like 80s wig on Mr. Braden Trindall, and you're like, that's Watani Zalesniak right there. That put down was crazy.
It looked like he was a genuine winger. It genuinely looked like he was a winger. And, man, I want to talk about something controversial in that match with him involved. And it was the penalty try that should have been a sin bin, might have not been a sin bin. I think it was a penalty try. I want to get into that straight away. So, what are your thoughts, Fred?
Yeah, see, there was no way in the world I thought that was a penalty try because Tom Dearden was going to get there before Brandon did.
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree as well.
But it's the fact that you don't know, and Tom Dearden's there, you can't call it a penalty try. If Tom Dearden's not there, or if Tom Dearden is 5 meters further past that, but Tom Dearden's a fast freaking player, bro.
He's a fast player, but
and I think he gets there, or he could potentially challenge it, and he could drop it. How many times have we seen players drop nuts, easy tries like that?
That's how
because there's a little bit of pressure on him. I think it's a sin bin, but if it was a sin bin, it would have ended up really, really badly for them. So I think Cowboys fans that are complaining about that, if there was a sin bin in that game, and it's Cotter getting sin bin, that's the whole guy. Like, if there was anyone that was keeping him alive in the middle, it was him. they would have conceded 2 tries in that span easily.
That's how I see it. Where I thought if I was in the bunker, and not even if I was in the bunker, but like I thought he would have scored, but you can't be 100% sure that he would have scored. I don't think it's 100% a certainty that he scores a try. So that's where it's like, well, it's not a penalty try. Because it needs to be 100% he's scoring. I think he would have scored, but I'm not 100% sure, so I feel like it shouldn't have been a penalty try. But the way they've been ruling penalty tries is it's just like the opinion of the bunker, and so I can see how it was a penalty try in that sense.
I thought it was a penalty try because they were the same distance away, but Trindall had the momentum. It was only that Ruben Cotter, and the bounce worked for him.
It sat up.
It worked well. So if he had got there, he would have been able to pick that ball up. In my professional
I think he would have scored.
No, I think he probably scores it, but because you don't know he's going to score it, you can't call it a penalty try. Ruben Cotter gave that away on purpose. He gave it away on purpose.
Oh, I know he did. And
that was the most intentional penalty try.
Yeah, it was so
like that was crazy, dude. But in my opinion, I think the rule in this case is right. If a guy gives away a penalty try, you don't bin him.
Yeah,
no.
So
it's always either a penalty try or sin.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, he should have been in the bin. Well, no, because he gave you a penalty try, so it's like you're fine, no bin.
As I said, I think it was a penalty try. I just off the momentum, but he had a crack over the game. That was his best game, I think, in his career.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not even a debate. Like that's clearly the best game of his career. Right. The guy was a double and a try assist or 2 try assists.
Especially like in a semi-final as well. This isn't just a regular season game. This is one of the biggest games he's ever played in. Probably, I guess, biggest.
The biggest.
Yeah, because it's the second week of finals. Loser goes home and he tosses up that performance. It was crazy.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what won him the game. And I feel so happy because I've been calling for this all year, for 2 years really. Maybe even it was like Moylan was there half last year, right? And even then, I'm like, dude, when Hines joined, I was like, it doesn't make sense because I know it's Matt Moylan and a lot of weight is carried with that name because he was a good player, but where's the fit? I don't think, and I've always been like, I just don't feel like Nicho Hines is a 7. You can win as many Dally-Ms as he wants, but until the end of the day, right, when it comes to the big games and you don't have control of the game, you're not a good 7. Like we were talking about Cont before, the guy knew how to control a game, and that's what really makes a 7. It's a major quality of one, in my opinion. And you're being able to control a game, especially with your kicking game, is important. Nicho does not really have that because not his fault. Everyone else that plays 7 has most likely played their whole lives. Nicho has played there for 3 years. And there's still a lot. And it's all up here. That's why we see as 7s get older, they get better, man. And Nicho has been there for 3 years, bro. Like, I think in a few years, he can be a really good 7. But he took a back seat to Brayden Trindall. And I've been calling for this all year. Just switch the jersey numbers. It makes the team so much better. Now, Brayden Trindall's not going to play like that every week, but when he's doing the bulk of the kicking, the Cronulla Sharks are a better team. That's why people say when Atkinson's playing and Hines isn't, Brayden Trindall's running the show and he's doing all the kicking. They look better because of it, because it's just what the team's needed for so long. And it's like it took last week's loss to realise I swear I saw Nicho put 3 kicks in and 2 of them were really good. And Brayden Trindall took all the other ones, but it's the fact that Nicho's taking them when it makes sense. And I think one of his kicks led to a try, like from Ronaldo. I think that was
the last try, I think, to Ronaldo Militalo.
Yeah.
But the thing is that going to be their move for Penrith next week? Because next week it's like
for sure.
Nathan Cleary being healthy, he's just going to run over Nicho. Like I remember you saying something earlier in the season about him moving to fullback. Obviously it's too late for that now, but is it a game plan for a future where you think Will Kennedy isn't fullback next year for them?
Yeah, I think, and this is why I've always, it's not that Will Kennedy is a bad player, but it's value over a replacement player. They call it VORP in NBA terms, and I've really been liking it in NRL terms here because we've got a lot of guys, seen a few roster shuffles around to try and fit certain guys in because it means you filled the best team. It just means some people have to concede in what position they play. A good example was to get Trey Fuller in, they move Hammer to the centers, right? And you're like, well, Hammer's a better fullback. Well, what's the team? Like, the team's probably going to be better with Trey Fuller and Hammer.
Yeah.
But this is the best way you put him in. It's like Origin, right? Like, Tommy Turbo, it has versatility. He can play multiple positions. James Tedesco does not. And I've seen people say, Nah, Tedesco's the better fullback. He plays in Origin. No, it's just because Tedesco can only play one position. Old mate, Tommy Turbo and Latrell, they can play multiple positions. It gives them that versatility.
I was going to say, you made this point with, what's his name? Connor Watson. When it's what the team needs, not who's the better player.
Yeah.
Because who was he meant to be picked over? Or who was everyone thinking?
There was like McInnes, there was Epic Coruscant, guys like Damien Cook.
People were saying him, and it ended up being Connor Watson was the better sort of pick for him. So
Matt Burton too. It's like you know, but at the end of the day, it's like Craig Wing. Like I think there were players that were better than Craig Wing back in the day, but hey, can that player that is playing over Craig Wing fill 9 positions? No. And that versatility is rare. But nonetheless, with the Sharks, it's like Will Kennedy last year was amazing. He had his best season by far, and his numbers have literally been cut in half.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Will Kennedy in any way, shape, or form deserves to be drafted, but if you're the Sharks and you're like, okay, this halves pairing is working, and we're winning games without Nicho, and there were games that, bro, I was like wanting top 4. I'm like, surely they lose this one, surely they lose that one, they were winning them all. So I'm like, okay, Nicho played fullback, has played fullback most of his career, won a comp playing as utility, but like sort of fullback, you know, and it just. I think it's for them to fill their best roster because Atkinson does look like someone that is going to be really good. And it's like, you got to try and fit him in somewhere. Now, in some situations, you can't. Like, what the hell does Melbourne do with Tyron Wishart? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their issues, they have too many.
Too many. Like, they had Harry Grant coming off the bench in the grand final. And then Brandon Smith and Harry Grant and Cameron Smith. Like,
it's a good problem
what do you
to have.
It's a great problem to have.
Let's also not forget Nicho Hynes at Melbourne. He was the fullback in a period, and he was so good at fullback that Pappenhausen, one of the best fullbacks in the game, was struggling to get back into the team because Hynes was so good at fullback. I think Hynes is better than Kennedy at fullback, and especially if it means you got Atkinson in the halves, who he's proven he's such a gun. He went down to Melbourne and beat Melbourne in Melbourne, and then Trindall as well in the form he's in. If you put Trindall at 7, obviously that seems to be his better spot, and then Atkinson, and then Hynes at fullback, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I've been saying this for weeks now. I've been saying this about Trindall running the show for ages because it's clear one of these guys he played like under 19s Origin. He's been a 7 his whole life, bro. He's been in the halves his whole life, Brandon Trindall. It just makes sense to pair him, to let him run the show. And I think they go to Penrith. What's going to give them the best chance of success, the best chance of a win? It doesn't mean they're going to win. No one's expecting him to win. But what's going to give him the best shot at winning? Doing what they did last week and just being Nicho Hynes, being dangerous, not having to worry about kicking unless he has to.
Yeah.
What about that second half now? So, like, obviously they had a really good first half, but they didn't score a try in that second half. Like,
up 24-0, you don't need a score.
Bro, they got like 5 tries disallowed, and they were this close from their attack was so good in the second half. They just couldn't get that last pass to go or that last, like a bobble of a ball, for Christ's sake. Like that I did not pick up on that Sione Katoa knock on, you know what I mean, from Griffin Neem. Emphasis on the knee. But, man, that was, like, they were playing good, man. Yeah. And I always felt like I was the only guy saying the Sharks were going to win that game.
I felt disappointed in kind of the Cowboys' performance.
Yeah, I thought the Cowboys were going to pump them.
I think everyone's thoughts were if there's a team that can do it, it's Cowboys. Everyone's been, I called them frauds all season. We all did on the podcast, but I was very disappointed when they came out and they let 24 points in. Again, finals game. Let's actually have some competition, and they've been playing good all year.
The thing for me as well is just the fact the Sharks hadn't won a finals game in so long.
I think it was 8 games. Or that was the 8th game, and they ended up winning it.
Yeah, I sort of expected Sharks to not come in and play as good as they did, and I feel like maybe Cowboys thought the same, where they just got blown off the park early, and they just got a bit rattled. Where we're like, what's going on? And then Sharks just flew with the momentum. The
problem with the Cowboys is they love to play fast and expensive football and everything. But when you put them in an arm wrestle, they have a lower chance of winning.
Yeah.
And the thing with the Cronulla team is this is why I picked them. And I don't know if I said 1 or 12 or 13 plus, but I genuinely thought there's no thought in my brain about the Cowboys winning that game because I know that forward pack. There's just something's not right in that forward pack. None of them are like they're too nice, except for Cotter. They're just too nice. I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm no joke, no doubt in my mind. All right, Cotter's probably got some screws loose. The rest of them have all their screws intact. Even JT.
Yeah.
Right? like Taumalolo, like prime Taumalolo makes this team an absolute, like they'd win comps.
Yeah.
Right? But Taumalolo now, he's good for the limited amount of time every game. And outside of that, man, McLean, he just looks too nice. Okay. Hidem Nuki, they got no mongrel, bro.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Their only mongrel is Tom Dearden and Ruben Cotter. That's it.
Yeah.
Zero mongrel. And in finals games, you need mongrel.
They need like
the
a
whole back line.
They're like the Canadian
The
version.
whole, yeah,
the Canadian Cowboys.
Canadian they're just too nice, bro.
I'm sorry.
And then next year they're gonna have a mega center problem because they're gonna be relying on like 2 children to be their starting centers. And there's no doubt I rate Purdue and Labour, but again, no, like unless these guys are gonna bring mongrel, okay.
Yeah.
And then
dude,
the whole
Sharks backline is all mongrel.
Oh, they're all mongrel.
Like Kale Ito, I was calling him clams from Futurama all year, especially recently. Cause I don't know if you guys have watched Futurama. He's a robot. He's got clams for hands. He literally anybody he comes up against, they don't get past him. He's like a great wall of Kale Ito, bro.
Sharks even have mongrel in their depth. Like that Sam Stone Street came in and he was putting his
That-
tongue everywhere, bro. But yeah, I agree. Like I think the Cowboys just need like just a dog off the bench, like a Lenu or something. Like obviously don't go and sign Lenu.
Go get Regan, bro.
Yeah, like
that's
Regan
what I'm
or something.
saying.
They need just like a big scary guy to even just come off the bench and just mix things up in the middle period of the game.
Yeah, like the thing is like, and that's sort of our problem too in terms of
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I don't have a big guy with mongrel, but we got like guys like Curran, like Preston, like
Curtis Morin's got mongrel.
yeah,
He's
like
also the size of a
like
puppy.
little mini Spencer. That's what I call him, mini Spencer, or like a Chihuahua.
Yeah,
He reminds me of a Chihuahua a little
100%.
bit.
I was gonna say Reed Money, bro.
Like
just
psychopath, yeah. Like we got mongrel, but they're little guys,
Yeah, we
bro.
got
Like
little
wait till we
dogs.
get a big guy with mongrel, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's why Stefano would have been so good.
Oh,
but,
hey.
but man, I said the Cowboys are gonna get belted in the middle, and they got belted in the middle. And then it was 24-0. And then that's when the game sped up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they started to play expensive football. And Drinkwater decided to actually catch a ball. And then they started scoring points.
But that's where it could be an issue next year. Like Feldt's gone,
was
Holmes
gonna
is gone.
say-
So it's like, how are they going to play that expensive footy? Like they're missing, the mongrel in the middle, and then they're losing 2 very key outside backs as well.
I'm a bit worried about them.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried about them.
Can
The
we give
ones-
a shout out to Card Feldt? Like,
Oh, such a sad
man,
way to end
sad
it.
way to end his career in the NRL.
That was
man.
sad. But man, the guys had so many good moments and might have the best moment ever making
Yeah.
Broncos lose. All right. That's pretty good too, man. And man, what a career he had. All-time leading try scorer as well. Like Kyle, man. And it's gonna be sad next year because my SuperCoach name I'll probably keep it in his name. Like I'll
Keep it in honor.
I'll probably keep it in honor.
Let them know what's your super coach name.
Felt up by a gay guy, but it's like Kyle Feldt and Dane Gay Guy. So it's like Kyle Feldt, DT up by a gay guy. I'm always gonna have that. So thank you, Kyle Feldt. You became the butt of like you inspired my SuperCoach name, bro.
Yeah, he was the true passion behind your super coach team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
And I never bought him once ever.
So I usually, when I make super coach names, I pick players
gotta
like
get a-
I have. It's Toa, and Toa's in my team.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
didn't even have it.
Victor
Yeah.
Wen Banana. That's what.
That's what you changed it.
Yeah, they did it last year. I'm like, I want to do that. So at
into
one
nothing
point,
but
my
net.
team was Yugoslavia because I had all the fucking greatest European players, in the league. And yeah, it's just I love doing that stuff. It makes it a little bit more like a little bit better.
Yeah, Kyle Feldt, easily the GOAT moment of all time. Like, it's either that or the field goal in the same game, right? The try he scored in 2015. So
Or no, I think because now there's another GOAT moment that made the Broncos lose, and that was from Nathan Cleary, and I think that's
true.
probably got to be
Yeah,
up there.
That's valid.
That's probably the best. That's probably their best grand final moment ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Cleary's try.
Cleary's try. Yeah,
that's
considering the context, bro, because like Andrew Johns
Yeah.
did that pass on the inside, but this guy did it on his own, and to make that comeback
Yeah.
was crazy.
fair. No, that is very.
So Roosters Manly, man, what a shithole of a game,
Oh
bro.
my
Like, there's no
goodness.
easy way to say it. I'm gonna bleep it out, but there is no easy way to say that was a shithole of a game.
Sucked in Manly.
Man, I'm
the Bulldogs fans.
I'm disappointed, man. I ate roast chook all week, like Hello Sports said, and these guys cop fucking 40, bro.
40. They got 40.
40 points, bro.
You
And
can
it
see
should
the
have been
40. They didn't even have Sam Walker.
Bro, 20 seconds into the game, 2 of their players drop like flies.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a seagull's just
That
been
was-
shot out of the air,
That
bro.
is, I'm telling you now, that is the worst start to a game in NRL history. You
Oh,
lose your...
yeah.
Because Jerva's their captain,
Yeah.
eh?
Oh, he's
They-
like-
He's their hype
co-captain
man
or
too.
vice
He's
captain.
the energy
He's
man.
the
for
heart,
that
man.
team.
He's the
He's
heart
the
of that
guy
pack.
that you... Like, he's the... if I want him starting my game.
Yeah.
I want him... That's why in Origin he starts. He lays the platform for everyone else. The platform got knocked out 20 seconds in.
And they lost a centre
And
as
they
well,
lost
which is such
Kohler,
a hard
bro.
position to cover.
Listen, man, that's what I'm not gonna say. What I was gonna say, he did that try against us, bro. He used all of it in that, man. But I felt so sad because they needed a player like Kohler to win that game, man.
Yeah.
And I saw how mad he was.
He was
Yeah.
fuming, bro.
Because he
Like,
knew, and I felt so bad. I'm like, bro, this kid just did that to us, and now he's probably riding the biggest high of his
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And then 8 seconds in, Jadaria Hargraves of all
with a
people.
shot. Do you
No, it's fine.
It's fine?
Next.
Okay, I was
What can you
gonna-
do, bro? What can you do? You as a forward are taught to run that way, especially in his age, like him, Clemmer, like they all run like that, bro. You run, bang, smash. As long as he's not doing these ones, like elbow high, you know what I mean? Like
He
I
did
got no
nothing
issue
wrong.
with it. There's
He's
nothing
just
wrong
running
with
the
that.
ball.
Bro, your arm can't disappear, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't have armless players out there, like
Yeah.
we were talking about
Yeah,
before
Cooper
the show.
But yeah, man, I felt so bad for him, and that was the start from hell. But shout out to James Tedesco, bro. Legit, like like everybody's putting him in Dally M conversations. I'm like, this isn't the Dally M Tedesco that I know. But he was saving whatever I thought about the Tedesco I used to know. I saw him again, like on that Saturday night, bro.
Yeah.
That was arguably that could be one of his it could be his best game ever. But I'm gonna say it's one of them.
I'd say
he
his
had
best
so-
game of the year.
Yeah,
Definitely.
he's best game of the year by far. His best game of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be straight
Probably
with
his
you.
best game since like 2019 Game 3 or something.
Yeah,
Like,
like
Origin,
he
like.
was amazing, man,
Yeah.
and he was everywhere.
He was literally everywhere.
Literally on
Yeah.
every side of the field. See what happens when he passes? Like, man, when he doesn't...
when he's not a
when,
hog?
When he doesn't hog, bro, man, that's like... His numbers would be insane if he didn't hog.
I had my stream up and I was getting ready to like just shit on him because I was calling him at the Panthers game, Slippy T, Hog, Tedesco, everything, and I was ready for all the clip farming and everything, and then he just starts passing. I'm like, what is this? I haven't seen this in how many years? And yeah, he played so well, and now my issue comes with they played too well. They've won too big, and now they're going up against a fresh Melbourne. And now it's like they've had a very shit game. They've had a very good game against Manly. And partially to that is because they've lost 2 players in 30 seconds. But what they move into next week and it's like, you have a really bad, a really good game. Obviously they're a momentum team, but can they back that up against a fresh Melbourne? But yeah, what do you guys think of the whole game itself? And then we'll move on to the...
Yeah, what do you reckon, Winston?
What do you-
Would we have done better?
Yeah. Honestly, like
Yeah,
obviously, I'm a Bulldogs fan. You can call me biased. I do think, and I said this before we even played Manly, I said whoever wins out of this Bulldogs-Manly game, the Bulldogs are more likely to beat the Roosters the next week. I said I was more confident to beat the Roosters than I was even Manly.
Yeah.
I was so nervous for that Manly game. So I think, and like obviously Manly losing 2 players straight away makes it easy to say, oh, the Bulldogs have done better. But like, what did they lose? 40-16 or something?
40
I
points
think
to 16. Their first try was 2 minutes from half time.
Like, I'll give you a hot take straight off the bat. I think we would have won that game. But at the very least, we would have made a game of it. So I think we would have done better. But Manly earned their spot there. They beat us. Like I've said so much, we were the better team, but they did what it took to beat us. They earned their spot in week 2. And it is unfortunate that they lost
Yeah, that was
the early night.
I am kind
depressing
of...
performance, but I expected
They
a lot
didn't do
more.
it justice.
That
They didn't do us
forward pack got
justice.
belted again.
Yeah.
Everyone but Olakawatu, bro.
Yeah.
And now Garrick wants to miss kicks.
Oh,
Like freaking-
Garrick
another
had a
big game.
shocker of
He
a
got
game,
got
bro.
targeted, bro. Like
Defensively at centre, it's just not his
like
spot.
the way they targeted like sort of Sherry
Yeah.
is the way he got targeted.
Yeah.
And And like I like Garrick at centre, but I definitely like Garrick at winger more.
Yeah.
And it's just Garrick's one of those situations where, you know, they literally have no one else to play there. If he, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
And they have 2 good wingers, 3 good wingers.
Well, it was a huge part of the negotiations that made him stay at Manly when Knights were chasing him. He was like, I want to be a centre. I'll like play me at centre and I'll stay. And so they're in a bit of a tricky spot there where they've got so many wingers and then he wants to be a centre. So he sort of, you know, gets what he wants in that sense. I don't know if it's in his contract or not, but like, I just like defensively, it just like, it wasn't a good night. Or even all season, just especially like in offense, I don't really have an issue with him at centre, but it's just the defence there. He's just bad reads.
I'll ask you a question just based on this, and I'll talk about you know what? Would you pay, I know centres get paid more. Would you pay a centre or a winger more?
It depends who they
Like
are.
okay, you have the best centre in the comp, best winger in the comp. Who are you taking?
So you have like Brian To'o
and Joey Manu. Who are you paying more? Or Stephen Crichton. Who are you paying more?
Probably
Because I think we're entering that sort of part of the NRL. You know, there's always a change.
Yeah.
I'm
Reece
thinking.
Walsh just got re-signed for like 4 year, 3 year deal.
Yeah, but he's
$1 million
fullback,
a year.
bro.
I think the way the current game is where wingers are doing so much work out of their own end, I think they're probably worth... Like, once again, if it's a winger that's not doing work out of their own end, it's different. But if it's a Brian To'o, he's worth that money. Like, I'd pay Brian To'o more than Ruben Garrick.
Yeah, no, I'd pay Brian. I
Because
think
of the work out of their own end.
They're
basically props.
Tigers are probably gonna sign this guy for $1 million.
Yeah.
And nobody will bat an eye.
Yeah.
Because, I always say this, Brian To'o could literally score 0 tries and be the best winger in the comp.
Yeah, 100%.
Because of everything else that he does.
It's the work out of his own end. Like, he's literally a forward out of his own end.
But he's like, all right, I know if you've played before, you know, a guy of Brian To'o's build, he's like top 5, top 10 players I don't want to tackle.
Bro, there's so many people in it. It was a couple of years ago where like NRL or Fox did like a player poll or something where it was who's the hardest player to tackle. And everyone says Brian To'o.
Yeah, I think he's top 5, bro.
Yeah.
You can't go low on this guy, bro.
Yeah.
He's built like Geodude, bro.
Yeah.
Like-
It's a center of gravity as well. He's got that like low center of gravity
He
where
just gets around. Like,
he's just
and
a ball.
Bro, he just hits the line and he just pushes and
Yeah.
pushes and pushes and he gets an
Strong
extra
legs.
His post contact meters are just insane because he's just that small. He's hard to tackle.
Post contact meters only exist because of Brian To'o. They made that stat about Brian To'o. So
Exactly.
like, how can we statistically show this guy's good? They're like, let's bring in post contact meters.
It's like everyone's saying, oh, he's so good, but the stats don't prove it. Let's put that stat there and just make it.
Because centers do like 50% of the work rate.
Yeah.
But the thing with center is it's difficult to defend at center.
Yeah.
And but you get the best ball in the team, in my opinion. Like when you get the ball, it's however, like most cases, like if you get every catch a player makes, the centers get the best ball. And it's like you're a luxury player. Like Latrell Mitchell, you put him in the centers, man, he will get you 20 tries a year.
Yeah.
All right, but whether it's scoring, assist, or whatever, but at the end of the day, you'll get more out of him at fullback.
Yeah.
Even though, and there's different archetypes of fullback. Not every fullback is to make 200 meters a game, but it's just you watch Latrell Mitchell and it's like, how does the guy make 1.2 million? It's because when you get him close to the fucking line, he'll get you points. And that's why centers ultimately move to fullback because they're getting paid big money.
Yeah.
But they want that extra bit. Honestly, it's boring playing center.
Yeah.
I think center would be the most boring position to play in the
Because you're trapped in that corridor when like you can do so much more. And that's where like a guy like Critter is so good this year because there was all that chat about, you know, him potentially moving to fullback and I think he's capable of playing fullback and he's definitely got the talent. Like he's such a footballer, but his unselfishness to just, you know, do the best thing for the team, stay in that corridor. He does a little bit of roaming, but like just his ability to do his job. I think that's a really underrated thing for a centre to just like accept. Like look at Zach Lomax. He got moved to the wing. He's chucked a hissy fit and he's off to Parrot. Like the unselfishness.
To go play wing.
Even though I would say he's had a great year at wing.
He's making more. Yeah. He's making the money he's making because he's on the wing.
Yeah.
I think Zach Lomax is a turning point for wingers making big money.
Yeah.
Because you get a guy like Taruva making 400, 450 or whatever it is. Like imagine, like, I don't really rate River too highly, but I think Lomax's getting 750, 800, maybe I think even more. And he's not playing a wing means I think there's for sure, every team has an analytics team, and there's for sure analytics guys looking at wingers and seeing how much they get through, and then looking at like centers and seeing how much they get through, and I'm like, winger has more value, should pay him more money.
Yeah, I think the way the game's changed, as I said earlier, just with wingers working out of their own end, that wasn't like 5-10 years ago. That wasn't a huge thing. It sort of snuck into the game with the higher speed game, getting the forwards, less work so they can be out there longer with less interchanges. I think the fact that now that's a thing, the analytics team at the clubs are going, well, this wing is doing so much work for us and impacting the game in that sense that they are worth more money now.
Like imagine how much would Prime Semi get in the current league?
Yeah.
Right? Like this guy's getting easily 1 million plus.
Absolutely.
Because he was the guy, he was the statistical anomaly before Brian Doyle, bro.
Yeah.
This guy was scoring 20, 22, 23 tries a year on the shittest team in the comp, and he's the only reason they had any wins at that point. Like he was like, man, it's a shame that how my camera. Okay, so he looked at my camera. That camera dies sometimes. No, Semi and Brian, like, man, they're two of the best wingers to ever play the game, bro. And I like, man, Semi, man, I miss him, low-key.
But, like, look at Josh Adokar. Like, he doesn't do a heap of work out of his own end. He's such a superstar. He's got all the speed. But, like, he's not worth as much as all these other wingers because he doesn't get through all that work that the other wingers do.
Yeah, it's...
Like, I know you say...
Adapt or die, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Adapt or die. But there's... Not every winger has to make 200 meters a game, but, like, it's all about the effort. I always see... effort in Adokar's carries a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if Adokar plays on that, Manly and we win because there's no substitute for speed.
Yeah, 100%. But that's what I mean, though. I'm not saying like, I need all my wingers to be doing all this work, but I'm saying if you do the work, you're going to get paid more. Yeah. It's more valued.
The Carrad's is a better winger.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I prefer even like Blake Wilson as an overall winger because... But like Josh, like I just said, speed, like you can't train speed, you can't coach speed. Yeah. And so that's why there's different types of wingers, but the wingers that get through that tough carries and the hard yards, I think they're worth more.
Right. Char'd of the... I can't do this to you. I can't do it. Char'd try of the week. I think we all have the exact same one here. There's one, Braden Trindall in the corner, just winger central.
Braden Trindall Zalesniak.
Yeah,
Braden Trindall. That is his new name. Braden Trindall Zalesniak.
Yeah, that was an amazing...
Get Blocker to try.
That was hectic.
Yeah.
He'd have a stroke, bro. Poor bloke, bro. Right? He didn't even want to try. Due to health concerns. No, you screwed it, bro. You just absolutely don't even open. That's what Blocker would have done a better job. Yeah. But Blocker for health concerns didn't say Nawanga Tawase, bro.
There we go. Yeah. No, I think that.
But shout out to Char'd. We didn't do the thing at the start.
Yeah, we did. We forgot, and then we're like, we'll do it, and then we forgot again. So
the only good thing about Sui is he remembers the sponsors. Man. He does. He remembers all the same because he does it every week.
He has the script, and
the best garlic sauce.
We have to start the podcast. Do it again.
The best garlic sauce in the nation, bro. In the nation, man. Just like my grandmother makes it, like puts hair on your chest. And he's charged fried chicken, bro. Crazy, man. Like honestly, the best I've had around. We had their chili mayo is insane. And I'm an expert. I'm a fat dog. Look at me. I'm an expert. What I put in my mouth, bro. I know if I'm going places to eat, it tastes good. That's why.
We had a mukbang here, and that food was just awesome.
Bro. That was hectic.
We ate for 20, 30 minutes just before the podcast. Just munging down on it. It was beautiful. So obviously, just talked about the two games. Roosters versus Melbourne. First game, Friday night, 7:50, Melbourne. Melbourne have just had a week off. What are our thoughts going into this game? Obviously, Roosters' big win.
I'll just say one thing. If Craig actually went on the podcast, and it wasn't 4 weeks ago and it was last week, that's hilarious. That's got to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's like they don't even care about who's playing after. If you do it in the off season, no one bats an eye. But if he's actually done that last week,
he did.
And to me, that's just. I know for a fact Robbo's got that in the film room. Hey boys, look at him. They don't respect you. You wouldn't do it. He's gonna egg him on, bro.
On the week off, doesn't matter who plays. We'll just get him on the podcast. That's hilarious though. That episode was funny. It's just getting the insights from
He
Craig.
looked so happy to be
Right.
there.
Dude,
He was so depressed.
He was like, what's all this?
He kept trying to act like he didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But deep down, he was like, this is where he wanted to be.
Like
Yeah.
the phone call of him and then him actually being there, it felt like it was two completely different people.
Yeah.
It was like, because he sounded like a bad trader. He was like, oh, what do you want? Like, I don't want to do this. Whatever. Win the game and I'll think about it. And then he was there and he was,
He's trying not to smile, bro.
I think he's got I think he'll do like good at like when he eventually retires.
He'll
get
die.
some.
He'll die. He'll be like,
he'll get
be
some
like
sort
Wayne
of-
Bennett, bro. He'll
Nah,
die.
no way.
Nah,
He's not
bro.
gonna get out.
He's been meaning to like not be there
He's
for
a
3 years.
He's a premiership away from retiring.
He's
bro.
waiting for Billy to lose one more Origin series so that he can take over the reins. Because Billy gets sacked if they lose next year too.
Do you reckon Billy goes into...
Billy will 100% go to a club coach.
Yeah.
That-
He's too good. not
That's
to.
why he was waiting for Riles, but Riles is gone to Parramatta. Billy will be next up.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
It does. It does. So, yeah, Roosters, Melbourne. Obviously, yeah. I think it's a Panthers Melbourne grand final.
I think everybody's been saying it all year.
I mean,
I
just
think it's going to happen.
imagine alternate universe Sharks Roosters grand final. No one.
I think
knows.
Panthers Storm's a grand final we deserve. They've been the two best teams all year. Panthers coming off a three-peat. Storm minor premiers by so much, and like just such a quality team. I think that's the grand final we deserve. It'll be the highest quality product. But
Look, you've had your Bulldogs 2024 storyline. Let's talk about the RFlaxxys Panthers storyline. All right. So, look.
Everybody cut this out. Cut this out. You
No.
fuck.
So obviously, look, 2020 Panthers, not mature, very young, unexperienced in the finals. Year before, didn't even make the finals. We get in, we have one of the best years we've had in a long, long time. Yeah, thanks, Sad. And then we go up against a very strong Cameron Smith Melbourne. We lose. We make a decent comeback, but we lose in the last few minutes. We then go on our run of the three-peat. We win 3 different ways. We have a hard battle against South, flog Para, and then a big comeback against Broncos.
I was at that South game. That was one of the best games I've ever been to in my
Oh, it
life.
was such a good game, bro.
I just got a story to say while you're in the middle of the thing. I was on the 40-meter line, but because I think it bounced. I think his foot was just on the 40-meter line, and that's why that 40-20 at the end didn't count. Man, I was there, and I'm like, I was in awe. If he kicked up 40-20, I thought they were going to win for sure.
Oh,
Jesus
we were done.
Christ.
We were done.
Kevin
Yeah.
Durant moment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just so happy. I mean, Critter intercept, man. That
my
moment
guy.
just-
That's
yeah.
my best friend, by the way.
He's your best friend, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we win 3 different ways. Now we come up against a team that we couldn't beat 4 years ago. Experienced, matured. I think the storyline is there. Panthers win. We close our chapter as the best team in the NRL era, and then
Ever, bro.
Did you verse them in a semi?
we versed them
Prelim
last year in the
last year.
prelims, and we flogged them
And the
34 to 12.
Yeah, and the year before that, I remember I saw a game between you two. Tavita was on your team, bro. It was still one of the best games.
Tavita
I've ever
Penguin.
played.
Penguin, 22.
No, 22.
22.
Yeah.
That was like one of the best games I'd seen you Wait, was Tavita only with us for a year?
Was it 21?
It might have been 21.
I reckon it was 21. Tavita joined us.
Tavita
22,
was with us for 2 years, I'm pretty sure.
It was 21.
It might have been 21.
Because Storm lost to Raiders in 22.
That's
week
right,
one,
yeah,
so it was
yeah.
21.
21, my bad. Yeah.
Prelim, I think.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
had
it
him for
was.
1 year because he came from Brisbane.
Yeah.
And
He
then,
got in mid-year. And because it was Cowboys Eels in the other prelim.
he didn't end up playing in that grand final either.
Yeah,
Because
no, he didn't.
Shout out to him. He
Hey,
wanted
don't
to
shout
let
at him. He's a dog.
he wanted to let the Panthers players that had been there from the beginning to have that game. So, I just think Panthers come back early. I called this out since June, by the way, that Panthers Storm were going to be the grand final. But yeah, what do you guys think? Roosters Storm.
I think Storm win in Melbourne. Honestly, I think Roosters are a little bit slept on in this one. I think they're going to be up for it. They're a momentum team. I think they'll carry a bit of momentum in. But a week off, Storm, they just seem like they've got a bit of business. They haven't been in a grand final since 2020. And I know that's that's not too bad. The Dogs haven't been in one since 2014. But this is the Storm. They're meant to make the grand final every year. They're a
Can you
quality
believe that the
team.
Storm and the Roosters haven't been in the grand final for 4 or 5 years?
Exactly, which is that's crazy for the quality of those teams. So I think Storm, they're desperate to get past the prelims this year. Against Roosters, I think that's always a good clash. And I think Craig will have the boys ready to go. I will say as well, in my Orange Pillars season preview, I said Storm were the team that I thought people were sleeping on. I thought they were the biggest premiership threat. So I'll ride that as well.
The polar opposite of what I said, having them out of the
This
8,
guy had
saying this is the year they miss it.
Really? Yeah. No, I had them as a smoke. I thought they could win the comp.
Man, this guy had Warriors winning the comp.
Yeah, I did. I listen,
Really?
man.
Like dogs, bro.
Like the Storm one was my hot take because you always need a
Yeah.
hot take. But the Warriors one, I was like, this is common knowledge, bro. Everyone got weaker except for them. They added 2 rep players and then they fucking stunk up the
Yeah.
joint. But
Their secondary team played better than their first
Yeah,
team.
I had dogs
no
winning the
Bunty,
comp, otherwise
no
Storm,
Bunty,
so.
bro. No Bunty.
I just want to give something as well. I don't know if you boys have been seeing like Shaun Johnson on the podcast, the way he's been just breaking down.
Good,
plays.
bro. So good.
His IQ is just insane. Like he's
so
run.
crazy.
There was
I
this-
haven't watched it, but is it like, okay, when you get in this position, you have to pass to the second rower, and then when you get into this
Bro, it's
position,
like-
you have to
it's
pass to the
the
second
breakdown.
rower,
It is-
and then when you get into this position, you have to pass it to the second rower, and when you get into this position, you have to play short, and when you get into this position, you have to play it short again,
He's
because
literally-
that's what was this all year. He just fell in love with it. He did not want to throw a long pass this year, bro.
Nah, he's like breaking down like the Panthers shape and like
I love that
explaining
shit.
You get to you're getting to this point of this plays doing
It was-
this because
it was
this
the-
and like just really breaking down the why the
Yeah,
players. are
it
doing
was
what
the
they're doing.
Panthers Roosters the semis, and it was just a play of like getting Tedesco to go to a certain
Yeah.
position so they can kick on third tackle so they can get it, and it came with a try. Like
He was explaining how Cleary or like how the Panthers manipulated James Tedesco and like the way like you watch it, it's like a 30-second clip and you just feel so much smarter just
They like
watching it. It's
manipulate it
crazy.
like he's Diddy or some shit.
But
bro.
but
Like they're Diddy.
but that's
Hey man, you
like,
want to come to my
insane.
party, bro?
But it's actually worth like I'm gonna start listening to that podcast. 'cause,
It's
like,
so-
his
I,
IQ is
I don't
insane.
think there's enough content like that.
There
like
isn't.
analytical
Like,
break-
Like
players.
breaking down the game. Like people don't
Yeah.
realize the intricacies of the game.
Yeah.
They think it's just give it to Unga Bunga, run the ball. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? No, it's like there's so much to
It's
it.
literally chess. Like
Like-
you're manipulating the defense. That's what rugby league is.
it
Yeah,
reminds me
it's-
of the
and-
charity
and-
match.
and-
This man said
Yeah.
they were going to run 3 plays all
Yeah.
game, and they did.
But
And
that's
then
a big reason we won the charity match is because of Fred's coaching. Like the way he coached
Appreciate it.
us to like
On Instagram group chat, bro.
yeah.
But
like, it is,
everything,
like, it actually
literally,
is,
when
though.
I'll give myself I'll give myself a pat on the back here. Literally everything that happened that I
Yeah.
said would happen happened.
yeah, 100%.
And the boys were all ready for it. I'm like, boys, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
Like you just have to move up in a line.
Yeah.
It's the line speed the most important
That's
thing
all you said. Yeah,
in defense. And like as well, I was so cut when we lost last week because our line speed was the best I'd seen it all year
Yeah.
last week.
yeah,
And I'm like, this team is going to be something special come in a few years
yeah.
because that's the hardest thing to do. The rest of the parts, like, you know, that come with experience, but you can't teach effort, bro. You can't teach understanding how important certain things are. You can't beat a team that plays as a unit.
Yeah.
And you got to defend as a unit. You have one group of guys pushing up, another group of guys in la la land. You're gonna concede a try,
Yeah.
bro. You know, but at the end of the day, the game is simple. But when you especially get to that level, it's so advanced, beyond people's understanding from just watching it. So
And the thing as
that's
well,
why it's good to have a guy like Shaun Johnson who's played 10, 12, 13 years in the NRL.
and it's so advanced to his level. But the thing that makes them like, and Cleary's probably a really good example in the like, because I guess Shaun Johnson played this year, but they don't just sit around and like learn these really technical things. It just comes to them. Like in the moment, they're just doing it like almost without thinking.
and
But
they're
then
doing it
when
under
they-
pressure as
yeah.
well. Like these players,
But like Cleary's not out there thinking, oh, I've got to do this. It's just naturally. He's just like, he does it just naturally. And that's where then they get into content and Shaun Johnson can look at it and go and break it down like in hindsight. And that's where, as you said, like it's not done enough. Like I just want to watch ex-NRL players review shape and like explain why
the
things
X's
are
and
happening.
O's, bro.
Yeah.
There's no one really you know
Like-
what I was watching some older games back in the day.
Yeah.
And they used to do it in real time, bro. Peter Sterling
Yeah.
and Andrew Johns, and the tries used to happen. They used to get the freaking
The drawing?
The drawing,
Yeah.
bro. The drawing was mad.
Yeah. Bring
But
back the drawing.
I think they just sacked it because it's hard to. There's a lot of lines that you have to understand when
Yeah.
you run like really complex.
And not
shapes.
everyone can understand it. Like you, like,
But
and
they
not
made
a lot
it
of people
so
care
easy.
for it.
Little
Yeah.
me was understanding
Yeah.
shit from Peter Sterling.
But some
drawing
people
on the
don't want
green
to. You know
screen.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I like that shit, and I like
so
I
do
like
I.
people breaking down the game.
yeah.
So it's easy to understand. And I think especially for international watchers, right? They don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, you watch
You
NFL.
you go on YouTube. There's so many explanations on how NFL works or how
basketball works.
like how a triangle play, zone play.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go into the NRL and
There's nothing, bro. There's one channel that I watch because even I want to bloody learn more about it, right? Because I haven't played in a while. The game's changed a lot, bro. Like block plays were advanced shit for my level, and these cunts are running the most insane shit now. And it's 8 years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years difference makes a big change, man.
West Tigers team might need to sit down and watch one of those.
Like Shaun, they'll be watching Shaun Johnson.
Absolutely.
But even like Bronson Sherry was like, he's 4 years out, the game changed so much.
Yeah.
And that's what,
So I think, I definitely think content like that is really good. There is like one, I can't remember his name, but it's so good. It's like a news article writer, bro. And he does content like that, explaining that shit, and it's so well made. And he does it all in 4 or 5 minutes. But it's just him. I don't really see much advanced NRL content.
Yeah. Anyone want to get into that? He's your calling, bro. Yeah.
And but it's so technical where it's like, I don't want somebody to just break down and tell me what's happening. Like, it's got to be why it's happening. Why? That's
what's
why
happening,
are you doing
why
this?
it's happening, and what's the outcome of it happening.
And why are you doing this now?
Yeah.
Like,
why are you doing
I
this
often ask myself, Toby Sexton, why are you grubber kicking it on second tackle? Drew Hutchison, why did you run the football there?
Yeah.
I would really like to see the good and the bad of what people were thinking at the time.
Well, you can tell when a play's like set, especially when they're kicking on second and third. You can tell when there's a set play. Like I've been able to pick up a lot more, being to a lot more games this year. Just when a set play is being played.
Yeah.
But as you said, I don't know why it's happening.
Exactly, and that's where it's at.
You don't know if that's
the
what
next
they
level
thought the whole time or whether it's a split-second decision.
Yeah.
But players know.
Yeah.
Because players can see literally who Nathan Cleary is talking to, how he's talking to, where he's pointing and shit. And that tells them what they need to know. Because you watch Shaun Johnson play, he points everywhere, bro. I watched him mic up. He's pointing.
It's like a laser.
Yeah, he's like Munster, bro. But Munster he's pointing at his own teammates. Munster points at the other team, bro. I love when he points, bro. Like Munster has maximum aura when he starts pointing at you.
Imagine being on the other team.
You're in trouble when you get pointed
when he points at you, bro.
Oh, not me.
Yeah, it's like you've just been chosen, like you've been drafted, conscripted to war, bro. You're in for a tough night.
Yeah,
you. 100%. All right, I hasn't pointed in a long time, bro. There was a couple year period where Munster was just pointing at everyone. I'm like, you have been chosen. You have been chosen to die. It's like he's got the force, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching something called Berserk, and like the one of the main characters, who like his name is Griffin, and they can just sense when he's looking at you, and that's when like when Munster points at you, it's the same level of aura, bro.
You just know you're finished.
But yeah, man. I love that sort of content. From the ways you guys are describing it, it reminds me of Kobe Bryant before he died was doing like a breakdown.
Yeah.
And it was really, really in depth, and I loved it so much. And I still go back and watch it all the time because he teaches you so much about the game.
You're learning. That's what
you can tell which players have a high IQ, which players don't. And I'm glad that Shaun Johnson is sharing his knowledge with the world. Yeah. And I heard he could be coming back to the Keep for one last game. With the New Zealand.
Yeah, hopefully.
If Jerome Hughes isn't playing.
Yeah. It would be massive if he does. Because I feel like that would be, like, obviously his last game was a massive send-off. Like, a good win, comeback, and his stats in that game was really good too. But that's the thing. Like, does he come back and then, with the Kiwis, how does that affect?
Just give it to a young kid, right? Yeah. That's what I think.
Well, he said he'll only do it if there's like major, like heaps of.
It's a big SOS.
So he's like, there's plenty of.
If they need him.
Yeah.
If they need him.
I think Storm beat Roosters.
Storm beat. I was gonna say we kind of went off a bit.
Storm. I think Storm beat Roosters 13 plus. Although I think it'll be close for a lot of the game. The back end of the game when they lose control of it, the Roosters, I think they will lose control of it with no proper 7. And
I agree completely. 13 plus late tries.
I feel like it'll be similar to the Sharks Melbourne game where it'll be close and then there'll just be like one play that just opens it up and that'll be it.
Yeah.
So now the Cronulla Sharks, they 26-18 had a really good first half, went in the kind of first, second gear in the second half. Up against arrested Penrith. Accor Stadium, 7:50 Saturday. I know what I think about this game. I'm going to go to the non-biased people.
This is okay. Penrith 13 plus.
Nah, Sharks win. Nah, yeah. Panthers 13 plus.
Penrith 13 plus.
Panthers
Now we just
easily.
absolutely put ourselves in the position to get clipped here,
I will say, I know.
but
I
I
feel
just
like-
don't think it's gonna happen.
I feel like no matter the result of this game, Sharks have already done what they needed to do this season, which is win a finals game, get the monkey off the back. I didn't think they were a chance at. I thought they were going to miss the 8 this year. So I think this year has been building towards next year when they get Adam Finn or Blake in.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
gonna
feel
be a
like the fact
massive
they've got to a prelim, that's huge for them. And then they just got to go into the offseason, no matter the result here, and keep building. But yeah, I think Panthers win 13 plus.
Yeah, I think Panthers are going to win 13 plus
Just
too.
like
Nathan
dominant
Cleary
30
is just going
minutes.
to
Yep.
like Nathan. Like Trindall had a mad game last week, but I don't know if we'll be able to keep it up. The only good thing I see about Penrith, so for Sharks in this matchup, is you absolutely, without a doubt, have to target both the Penrith centers, especially Isaac Tago.
Yeah.
And having it all and having Jesse Raymond especially, that can be the key to victory. Because if they can get 2-3 tries from running it at your centers who are not that good defensively, I know Paul Alamotti does a good job and he really tries, but at the end of the day, he does have his games on defense. You know what I mean? And
Not those 66
Isaac Tago,
games.
Isaac Tago, man, that guy. Literally last year, I picked Broncos to win because they were
I
gonna.
forgot about that.
Yeah, well, no, we're not forgetting. No, we don't forget.
I haven't forgotten about it. Don't worry about that. I replay it.
Listen, but the thing is Isaac Tago is a target for teams' attacks, and Broncos literally went out of their way to attack Isaac. He wasn't 100% at the time, but even then, this season, he's still been so suspect defensively.
That's where our weakness has been, and I think I'm not worried too much about Sharks with it. I'm more worried about when it comes to Melbourne because Melbourne, for me, I think we're good at. They're good at exploiting weaknesses, Melbourne.
Oh,
And
that's-
that
but
is
so
that
are
is their
you.
job, and that's why my kind of hot take is I think there's going to be an intercept try in the grand final. That's my little hot take now. And I think it's going to be because Penrith are going to allow them to be able to think they can exploit that side and then Penrith will just run all over them.
But who?
You don't have Stephen Crowden anymore.
Who's going to intercept it?
Tango, bro. Trust
Right,
me.
Tango's going to drop
Right.
the ball.
Mate, I'm telling you, look, let's get
You
on the
think,
record
you
right
think
now.
Tango's going to throw an intercept, or do you think he's going to
No,
catch
he's going to catch an intercept.
Going to catch an intercept.
Look, I didn't say he's going to score
and
a
then
try
and
off
then
it, but
and
he's-
then there's going to be Dylan Edwards support, and then he's going to hog the ball and drop it.
No, that's Tedesco, mate. You got the wrong
No.
fullback.
Isaac Tago is the biggest hog ever.
Oh,
He hogged his way to an $800,000 a year contract, and then just at least hog the defender when you tackle him. Don't let go. You know.
Yeah.
You're a main.
Well, all right. I obviously say Panthers 13 plus. That brings us to the potential grand final. Panthers, Melbourne.
Who wins it from there?
Who wins it from there? I got to stay out of this until the end.
Bro, I got Penrith winning. I've had Penrith winning for pretty much most of the year. As soon as I realised the wires were a write-off, about 8 weeks in, all right, then I'm like, okay, I see Penrith, I see Nathan Cleary. I think they're gonna win. I think the best player is I favour the team with the best player in the grand final, and I think the best player is Nathan Cleary. Although Jerome Hughes is an amazing player, I actually think Nathan Cleary is a class above.
Can I just say before we get to you, Winston? Can I just say how people think, Nathan Cleary is not injured. I had people telling me, he's not injured. This is a ploy. You know, they get him off for 8 weeks and then make sure he's healthy and then bring him in the finals and he just wins. Like, bro, you don't do that.
No.
You don't do that, bro. We don't load manage him for. We're not the Clippers. You've said this before. We don't load manage a healthy player.
He wants to spend time with his
but
girlfriend.
I'm definitely on agreement. He definitely didn't need 8 weeks. I think because when he comes back, there's like no rust, bro. Because he's been ready to go for a while. But it's called being precautionary. The guy's 27. These are meaningless games for Penrith because they don't care about them on a premiership. They're already getting top 4. Like why do you have to play? Like why do you have to win these games? It's like the Lakers. They just think they can get the 8th seed and win. But in this case, Penrith are actually good. And they can just get to finals, flip a switch 2 weeks before finals, 1 week before finals, or in finals.
Yeah.
Flip a switch.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
it's so hard to tip against Panthers because like they just
Forward
showed.
pack, bro.
They've
That's
just
why
showed
I tip Penrith.
Fisher Harris, Moses Leota, the fastest forward alive, mate. Like,
And I've been saying, bro, Melbourne have a few weak points too. The biggest one being Nick Meaney. Nick Meaney is defensively a suspect center, bro.
Yeah.
And like you're gonna target him hard. I think many teams should target him hard. And their forward pack is what's gonna be the difference, in my opinion. As it always is for Penrith in the last 3 years, forward pack.
Yeah. It is so hard to tip against Panthers because like they've shown like 3 premierships in a row is hectic, and the more they win, the harder they are to beat. They've got more and more experience in that big arena. They've got Cleary there, they just step up. But like 4 in a row is just so unheard of. Like, and I've said the same thing about 3 in a row. I said the same thing about back-to-back. But I just think it's got to end eventually. So I think Storm win the grand final. I think Storm, if anyone's going to end the streak, if anyone's ending Panthers' streak, it's Storm.
I can't.
And I think Storm get it done.
You won't see me. You will not see me ever again if Storm beat us. I can't hack
I
the
hope
fact.
Storm win then.
I can't hack the fact that would be the team we couldn't beat.
But like, like if anyone's going to beat you.
Yeah, it's going to be them.
Yeah.
You can't, I don't think Roosters have the worst record against Panthers and Melbourne. So if they somehow do beat Melbourne, like to back it up, they're 1 in 19 or 1 in
20.
20. It's poor. West Tigers have a better fucking record than them.
Yeah.
Like if there's any team to do it, yeah, right.
I think Panthers deserve to be favourites, and like as I think it's so hard to go against them. But I just like if anyone's going to beat them, it's Storm, and they're due to lose a premiership. They are due to lose a premiership.
If anyone's going to do it, it's Craig Bellamy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think that cements his legacy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking to Winston off screen with this, but how does this affect Panthers' legacy? Because we've won 3 in a row, but then we lose 2, so we're 3-2. Like, how does
you made the grand final 5 years in a row. This isn't basketball, bro.
Yeah,
this is like knockout rounds. Like are much harder to consistently win because it's all about who's good on the day.
Yeah,
upsets can happen. 7-game series, mate. It's easy for the best team to win. Refs have more influence, I think, a little bit. The referee can influence one game, but it's obvious, you know what I mean? But I just think 7 games is literally a thing in basketball so that the best team wins, you know what I mean? But in a knockout phase, bro, anything can happen. It's all about who's ready on that day.
And Craig Bellamy, obviously, like the last time they were in a grand final, they won it, but I just like Craig Bellamy historically is so good at exploiting weaknesses in grand finals. He, prepares differently for grand finals than other games. He goes just so intricate. And especially with the week off that he just got, he probably knows that it's going to be Panthers. I just feel like...
I reckon he's been talking about Penrith for half of the week off.
100%. When he's not on the podcast...
Yeah, he's not on the podcast. He's not even worried about this Roosters game. He's like, all right, Panthers.
It's Panthers.
And I think we've been going for nearly an hour, but I do want to get your opinions because I think DALLY is on Monday next week. So
Monday?
Yeah, next week.
Oh, shit.
Definitely grand final week.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm
so
definitely watching
Monday,
it. I'm going to live stream that.
So because we might be doing like a podcast, obviously you don't want to have it uploaded on the Tuesday. What are your thoughts for DALLY? Is it Jerome Hughes?
Hughes wins it.
Hughes wins it.
Hughes wins it. No doubt in my mind.
I think the top 3 will be Hughesy, Turbo, and probably Tedesco.
I was going to say
I think Tedesco's second.
I think Turbo's going to be top 3, but...
Do you think it's a big gap between Hughes and second?
No.
I think Teddy's close to Hughes. I think it's a big gap between second and third.
Yeah.
But I think Hughes wins.
No, I think it was a big gap from 3rd and onwards. Yeah. Turbo knows how to get 3 points from...
Nicho Hines, where's he going to be? Because I'm sure Nicho Hines has got 6 points for this week.
I'll give you a hot take. Birdo top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah, I think Birdo will probably have more than Critter does.
Yeah. Birdo 5-8.
Yeah, but I think... Like, do you want to go through your predicted lineups or?
Do
you have the time?
I don't.
We have the time, but I don't have anything up here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be going off the top of my head. Like, I honestly think Dearden probably wins 6.
I would say Dylan Edwards for fullback.
I'd say Tedesco for fullback.
Dylan Edwards played half the year, bro.
If the top 3 automatically get their position, I think Teddy will be top 3.
Okay.
Yeah, Dearden.
That's the only way Burden will get 5-8 is if he somehow got top 3 or whatever.
Critter gets center.
My hot take: Jacob Little hooker.
Really?
No, I think Reed Marnie was better than Jacob
know,
Little.
but
I do want to put a hot
But
take
that's-
that
it's a Dally M
Mitch
system.
Kenny's
No, I'm
up there
thinking.
as hooker as well.
I think Robson or Brady could probably get over
Yeah,
Jacob
Rob
Little.
Bailey.
I think Jacob
Yeah,
Little
my
did
hot
so
take,
good,
Little.
bro.
That's my hot take for you.
Yeah, he's a mad player this year.
Bizza and Zach Lomax.
Zach
I think
Lomax.
Carraz deserves winger of the year. Oh, he won't get it.
No,
But
Zach
I think he
Lomax
deserves
deserves winger of the year, I think.
it. I'd have. It's hard to go against.
He's
both,
the whole
yeah.
reason why Dragons are even
Yeah, it's
remotely
Lomax.
good.
What about forwards?
Who's your other centre?
I had Critter.
And who's the other one?
Ritter and
Maybe Ramian.
I don't. Ramian fell off towards the end of
Yeah.
the year. After Origin, there was not a lot.
man,
of,
it was an injury riddled season for centers, bro.
yeah, I couldn't really.
Like Val will probably make it, even though I think he was shit out the first
Val.
the first like 10 weeks of the year.
Farnworth and
But
Dolphins.
yeah, Farnworth,
yeah.
Farnworth and Critter. Even though Farnworth missed a lot of time, I think he was so good when he was played.
And then Hughes and Dearden.
didn't.
I think as much as I love Matt Burton, as important I think Matt Burton is to our team, that team without Dearden is in the bottom two.
I think Yowie
bottom
gets
three.
lock potentially.
Okay. Yeah, I actually think Yo's gonna get
I
locked.
reckon both Warriors props get it. Barnett and Adam.
Barnett's up
I reckon
there.
they both get it.
I think it'll be one net
Back rowers.
Coach of the year.
Crichton for back rower.
Crichton, Katoa.
Tall.
Yeah, Crichton,
Yeah.
Katoa.
Elise,
Elisa,
Tall.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Coach of the
coach?
year?
Yeah.
Up until a couple weeks ago, I was thinking it's got to be Serrato, but I think Bellamy always deserves it. So the last two games.
Dude, when Dez should have won in 2021, Bellamy won it. Bellamy will win it again.
Yeah.
But it should be
Bellamy or
Serrato.
Serrato.
Should be Serrato.
He took us from the worst defensive team to
the best.
Yeah.
Or second best or whatever.
We were best for a second there.
Oh, anything else, boys? Anything else you want to get off your mind before?
No, I'm sweet, man.
prelims?
Nah.
I'm keen, man. It's been such a fun year.
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, shout out to everybody. I'm probably going to hit 100K and sometime this week. So
Mate, you're
thanks
so close,
thanks everyone for the support, man. It's a big milestone for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really a numbers guy, but 100K is
that's
100,000
mad.
people.
You
bro.
gotta like.
It's like overflowed Acor Stadium, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Think about that. You're in the middle. It's like you're at a concert at Acor Stadium,
Yeah.
and you're on the stage, and people are watching
Like,
it. It's crazy.
Love them all, bro. I love each and every one of you.
Well, shout out to
Except
Char'd.
Flax.
I was going to say, shout out to Char'd.
Char'd.
Satan. Hey, Fred.
Sachtan, bro. Yeah. He tried to get no respect. We had this guy saying
can't
he was
do that.
shitting last week. We got Winston saying Sachtan. But yeah, shout out to Char'd, bro. I'm a hungry man.
Man, shout out to Winston for being on the podcast.
Winston.
Shout out to
Thanks,
It's Nothing But
Winston.
Net
And
on
shout out to
Instagram.
It's Nothing But Net
Check out
because
the
we
new
are
potty.
recording that right after this.
NBA podcast, basketball podcast.
Man, it's going to be awesome. And
Basketball.
Mr. Active Fred, thank you for always being here. And
We miss Sui.
we miss Suey.
No, we don't.
I felt like I couldn't run the spacing he does, bro. How
Yeah, nah, Sui has got value to the team, bro. He's that type of guy that does everything that no one wants to do.
He's like the Cooper Cronk in
I was
2018.
A lot more impactful because he actually gets his hands dirty.
Is he Chris Paul? Like, assist God?
Yeah. He does the dirty work that no one else wants to do. He's like he's like Ish Smith, man. He'll play the role that nobody wants, but he'll do it with a smile on his face.
Shout out to Suey. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week when obviously the Panthers and Melbourne Storm are going to be in the grand finals.
Yeah,
Catches.
regular scheduled programming, bro.
The script.